The day before I was supposed to divorce my fake wife, she was suddenly diagnosed with moderate separation anxiety. She couldn't leave my side. "Don't get the wrong idea," she said. "I just had a panic attack at the amusement park yesterday, and you happen to be there. It's a physiological attachment. I don't like you. I'll be fine once I take my medication." For the next month, she clung to me tightly every night as we slept, and I had to resist the urge to push her away. Then, the new test results came in. She had successfully graduated from moderate to severe. I stood at the entrance of City Hall, completely defeated. My wife was crying and apologizing. "I'm sorry, I don't know how this happened, but please don't say the D word again. I can't hear it right now. And can you hug me back? You're being so cold. This clingy mess. Get off me." A month ago, at the hospital, I was the one holding Anna's diagnostic report for separation anxiety. "Is it serious?" I asked, looking down at the woman clutching my waist. The balding specialist across from us pushed his glasses up his nose. "Simply put, your wife can't be without you right now. She's become dependent on you. It's not critical, though. We'll start with some medication for a month." With that, he called in the next patient. Outside the hospital, I glanced at the time. City Hall would close in 30 minutes. "Anna, seriously, does it physically hurt you to not see me?" The sun was beating down, making my face feel hot. I unzipped my jacket in frustration and turned to question the human shadow behind me. "Noah, do you think I'm acting? I was so sick I threw up. Didn't you see?" Her face was pale, and her questioning tone didn't seem fake. It really didn't look like an act. But how could it be so coincidental? On the very last day before our divorce, she gets diagnosed with this bizarre condition. We weren't even close. How could I be the object of her separation anxiety? Sure, I was her husband on paper, but our relationship was purely contractual. We met a year ago at a corporate mixer. There was a grand prize. Any couple who met at the event and got legally married would win the use of a luxury apartment for 3 years. I wanted it because the apartment was incredibly close to my office. Anna wanted it to grant her grandmother's dying wish of seeing her get married. Two people with their own agendas, we reached an agreement smoothly. To make it look convincing, we decided to wait a year before divorcing. But yesterday, Anna's nephew showed up unexpectedly, demanding to meet his mysterious uncle. Afraid of being exposed, I had to take a half day off work, rush over, and spend the afternoon at an amusement park with my ice queen, stiff-limbed, terrible actress of a wife, whose arm I had to hold. She trembled every time I touched her. Oh, right. Something was off with Anna after we got off the pirate ship ride yesterday. I thought it was low blood sugar and quickly gave her a piece of chocolate. "I fell off a pirate ship when I was a kid," she finally admitted during our standoff. The memory must have triggered a traumatic response. I panicked, and you just happened to be there. The complaints I wanted a voice died on my lips. I had asked her if she was okay to go on the ride, and she had nodded. This woman's pride was bigger than anything. "So what do we do now?" "City Hall closes in 10 minutes. Anna looked at me hesitantly. "Let's postpone for a month. The doctor said it's not too serious. I'll take my medicine on time. I won't drag it out." But that raised another problem. If Anna couldn't leave my side, where would she sleep? "You can stay with me. My house is huge. You'll be comfortable." Fearing she might have another episode, I agreed. I drove her car on the way back. A Maybach, and man, was a smooth ride. You really get what you pay for. "You live in Medina? Do you have any idea how far that is from my job?" I was shocked looking at the map. There was no direct light rail to my office. A cab would cost $30 each way. That's over $1,000 a month just on commuting. And she called that comfortable? She was trying to kill me. Then what? What else? "We're staying at the apartment, obviously. We still have to go to your place first. I need to pack some things." What a pain. By this time, I'd usually be on my couch scrolling through TikTok. The woman rested her arm on the open window, her eyes gazing outside as she suddenly fell quiet. While waiting at a red light, she gently tugged on my sleeve. "Noah, can you give me that little bear keychain?" "What for?" I didn't get it, but seeing her teary-eyed look again, I gave it to her. She clutched it in her hand and let out a sigh of relief. "Thanks. This makes me feel a little safer." Seeing her look of relief, I awkwardly averted my gaze. This illness seemed like a real pain. It was my first time at Anna's villa, and I had no idea rich people had elevators in their homes. How'd I get so lucky at that mixer, picking out the daughter of our partner company CEO? Not that her money would ever be mine. The prenup and our contract spell that out clearly. Anna, it's almost 10. Are you done packing yet? My phone was about to die from waiting. Coming. The woman finally trudged down from the third floor, dragging 4 of the largest sized suitcases behind her like 4 load-bearing walls. Lady, you're only staying for a month. Are you moving in? Sorry, I've already streamlined my luggage. It's mostly shoes and clothes and some accessories. They're all essential. Great. A hyper-perfectionist. Once we got to the apartment, Anna hung a few of her dresses in the closet. My own clothes, bought from a thrift store, were already squeezed into a wrinkled mess. Don't hang these up. Put them back, I said, watching this woman I barely knew take over half the space in my apartment. That familiar anger started to bubble up inside me. But my formal wear will get creased in the suitcase. These are new haute couture pieces. I don't care if they're haute or not. This is my place, I said, not bothering to argue. You're sleeping on the pull-out couch in the living room. Now get out. I need to rest. The woman stood frozen, her almond-shaped eyes filled with disbelief. I have to sleep on the sofa? The one where I can't even stretch my legs out. What else? This apartment was meant to be a workspace. There's only one bedroom. You don't expect me to sleep on a couch, do you? This troublemaker was really pushing her luck. If she hadn't insisted on riding the pirate ship, I'd have my divorce decree by now. Before Anna could say another word, I turned and walked into the bedroom, slamming the door. I hadn't gotten the bear keychain back yet. With that by her side, she shouldn't have any more strange episodes, right? Besides, I was only a few feet away. It didn't count as separation. I was dead wrong. The moment I turned off the lights, ready to close my weary eyes, I heard a pained thud from the living room, followed by a faint, intermittent knocking. Noah, are you in there? Of course I'm in here. That's a stupid question. I saw your light go out, and I suddenly got scared. Can you please not turn it off? The woman's hoarse, trembling voice seeped through the crack in the door. But I need the lights off to sleep. Okay. The footsteps outside moved away. I could hear the rustle of fabric as she curled back up on the sofa. But less than 10 minutes after I turned the lights off again, there was another series of timid knocks. Noah, are you still there? Was she insane? I mean, she was, but this was too much. Was I ever going to get any sleep? I was going to be late for work. Lady, I roared, yanking the door open. My face was a mess of frustration, but I was met with a face so tragically beautiful it could stop your heart. Beads of cold sweat dotted her forehead, and her small, trembling body looked utterly pathetic. I'm sorry. I'm just scared you're not here. Anna was still clutching the little bear keychain. She lowered her head, her long eyelashes fluttering, and her voice softened. A classic beauty in distress move. It wasn't her fault she had this weird illness. My stupid weakness for pretty faces kicked in, and my anger melted away. Fine, you can sleep on the floor in my room, I said, scratching my messy hair and stepping back to give her space. I tried again. As I went to turn off the light, Anna grabbed a corner of my pajama shirt. But I'm still scared. Did you take your medicine today? I did. I took it 3 times just like the instructions said. Then why is it still so bad? The doctor did say she'd need extra care at the beginning. I hesitated for a moment, then threw back the covers, pulled a giant stuffed animal from a storage box, and placed it in the middle of the bed. A moment later, the warm touch of her hand on my wrist felt intensely real in the darkness. She finally quieted down, but now I was the one who couldn't sleep. As I stared at the ceiling, I regretted it more and more. I shouldn't have brought this woman back. I should have just had her admitted to a hospital. What did any of this have to do with me? Noah, this is just a stress reaction right now. The physiological dependency comes later. I won't latch on to you. You can relax. Once I'm better, I promise I won't delay our divorce. The woman, sensing my frustrated sigh, spoke up from the darkness. She wasn't asleep either. I resisted the urge to pull my hand back and slap her. Anna, please understand, I said, keeping my voice low. You're not just delaying my divorce. You're delaying my ability to get to work on time tomorrow, and you're causing me emotional distress by keeping me awake right now. My lost wages, my emotional distress, and your rent for staying here. I expect you to calculate it all and compensate me in a month." The woman took a deep breath, then suddenly got out of bed and went to the living room. I thought she was finally showing some backbone, that she was cured, but she just wanted to get her phone. A second later, my phone buzzed on the nightstand. Ping. Venmo payment received. $40,000. My eyes shot open. Great. Now we don't owe each other anything. At 8 in the morning, I was back on the crowded subway, rain or shine. The princess, who had never experienced a rush hour commute, was trapped in the middle of the crowd, unable to move. "Noah, come pull me out. I am stuck. I'm not texted. I'm just a little ahead of you. We're almost at the next stop. No need to push your way over here." "I can't breathe," the princess declared. I rolled my eyes, but the thought of that very real $40,000 made me resign to my fate. "Yes, Your Highness. Your humble servant is on his way." I turned and tapped the shoulder of the woman behind me. "Excuse me, ma'am," I said apologetically. "My wife, she's nonverbal. She can't speak. She needs to get through. Would you mind moving a bit?" "I'm so sorry." "Oh, of course, no problem." Anna stared at me, shocked once again, but she finally made it to my side. Just as she was about to speak, I covered her mouth. "Are you dumb? Just hold on and don't move." Inside the packed car, passengers pushed and shoved as they got on and off. Thankfully, Anna stood in front of me, blocking a lot of the jostling. Then a reckless student in a hurry pushed her, and she lost her balance, falling right into me. I heard a muffled grunt by my ear, and for the first time in my life, I came face to face with a pair of very large, soft pillows. It was actually quite comfortable. When we got to the office, I pulled a few snacks from my drawer and tossed them to Anna. "We left a little late this morning. This will have to do for now." But the woman had been silent ever since we got off the subway, the tips of her ears bright red. "Hey, Anna, did you actually lose your voice?" She finally looked up, annoyed, ripped open the bag of bread I'd tossed her, and started chewing angrily. What was she mad about now? "Tell me, what did I do this time?" I slammed the file I was holding on my desk and strode over to her. "I'm Fine. Leave me alone." She turned her head, avoiding my gaze. Oh, I was losing my patience. I grabbed her shoulders and forced her to look me in the eye. "If you're fine, then that anxiety thing has nothing to do with me either. I'll transfer the 40 grand back to you, and you can move out immediately." Anna flinched and shrank back, finally speaking hesitantly. "It's just, this morning, you're in a bad mood as soon as you woke up. You kept telling me to hurry up, but I wasn't even being slow. You were just so mean. And then, on the subway, when I couldn't get through, you weren't going to help me. You wouldn't have even looked at me if I hadn't said I felt sick. And when I got knocked over at the station, you didn't even ask if I was okay." Before I could even lower my hands, her words left me stunned. I was in a rush this morning and might have hurried her along, but I definitely wasn't targeting her. I never thought she'd get upset over something like that. As for the subway, it was so crowded. Just being able to stand was a feat. Who has time for such trivial details? This woman was such a delicate flower. "All right, what did you get hurt? Let me see. I'll rub it for you. Put some ointment on it." My voice was dripping with sarcasm, but Anna just lowered her eyes and slowly placed a hand over her left breast. "It hurts a little here," I hissed. She was like a block of wood. "And my right side feels weird too," she said, suddenly grabbing my wrist. "Can you press it for me?" "No ointment needed." Bang! The office door flew open, and my work buddy, Kevin, walked in. "Hey, Noah, about last week's proposal." Kevin's words died in his throat. He found me and Anna frozen on the sofa in a very compromising man-on-top position. It was a mortifying, career-ending scene. "Kevin, let me explain." I leaped up, letting go of her and backing away. "This young lady is..." Kevin, despite the shock in his eyes, managed a professional, albeit fake, smile. "She's a new assistant we just hired." She was choking on some bread, and I was helping her clear her airway. "Right, Assistant Anna." I turned back, giving the woman a death stare that said, "Say one wrong word, and all your designer dresses are getting shredded tonight." "Why, yes, that's right," she mumbled, coughing a few times. Kevin forced a laugh and leaned in. "Really? She's dressed better than our creative director. Nepotism higher. Won't last a month, you know. I winked at Kevin, and he finally seemed to understand. As he left, he shot another wary glance at Anna. Next time someone comes in, don't blow my cover, I hissed once Kevin was gone. The office was quiet again, just the two of us, but the atmosphere was even more awkward than before. Why am I just your assistant? The woman, apparently missing a few brain cells, asked a ridiculous question. What else would you be, sitting in my office with me from morning till night? Anna sat primly on the small chair, her tiny frame looking almost pitiful. Aren't we husband and wife? It should be normal for me to be in your office. She argued her point. I rubbed my temples, completely exasperated. We might be husband and wife on paper, but we're business partners. A partnership that's about to be dissolved. If people found out, how am I supposed to date normally in the future? Those almond eyes stared at me, and she said no more. For the rest of the afternoon, I was swamped with work at my desk while Anna dozed off beside me. And she couldn't just sleep. She had to be leaning against me. The excuse was that she'd get anxious if she was too far away. What great new life for me, the working stiff. For the next 2 weeks, she continued to follow me to work, squeezing onto the subway with me. Then, one afternoon near quitting time, she was dozing off again. I decided to be mischievous and snuck a can of ice-cold Coke I just bought against the back of her neck. So cold. Anna shot up, frantically clutching her neck. When she saw me grinning, she got genuinely angry. Noah, you're always teasing me. Because my job is boring, and all you do is sleep next to me anyway. I pack my commuter bag, suddenly in a great mood. I get your takeout, make your tea, bring you water, and sweep the office every day. I don't sleep all the time, she said, frowning and rubbing her shoulder. I noticed one of my short hairs on her white dress and casually picked it off. We get the same amount of sleep. Why are you always so tired? Does the medicine have a sleeping pill side effect? Anna took the bag I handed her and turned off the office lights. I don't think it's a side effect, she mumbled. I only get sleepy when I'm near you. I wasn't like this before. It's this stupid illness. Just a few more days left. I hope it goes away soon. As we left the office building, I was about to call a cab to go get some Korean barbecue with Anna when a delivery guy stopped me. Excuse me, are you Noah? A friend of yours ordered these for you. Please sign here. It was a huge bouquet of blood-red roses. Confused, I took them and immediately started scrolling through my contacts. No missed calls. Who sent them? I looked around but saw no one I recognized. I turned to look at Anna. It wasn't you, was it? No, she said, shaking her head, her expression blank. Right. Why would she randomly send me a bouquet of roses? Walking down the street holding these conspicuous flowers, I heard a store's promotional ad blaring. Everyone else is celebrating Couples Day, and I'm still waiting for you to say I love you. Order now, or someone else will sweep her off her feet. I finally checked the date. May 20th. So that's what it was. Did I have a secret admirer? My heart skipped a beat. Please don't let it be a female colleague from the office. I was distracted throughout dinner, constantly checking my phone, terrified of receiving some cringy confession text. Anna was quiet for a long time before finally speaking up. So, is someone going to confess their love to you? Ugh, don't jinx it. I quickly shut her down. If a colleague confessed to me, how could I ever show my face at work again? The thought alone was mortifying. The woman fell silent again, just picking at the rice in her bowl. The bouquet sat on the chair next to me, and the more I looked at it, the more it started to resemble a certain colleague's face. A shiver went down my spine. On the way home, under the cover of darkness, I quickly tossed it into a trash can on a deserted street. Anna was right behind me, but when I turned around, she had vanished. I sent her a message, but she just replied that I should go home first. She needed to buy some daily necessities. I suddenly felt like her separation anxiety wasn't as severe as it used to be. And strangely, I felt a tiny pang of disappointment. My free cleaning lady's contract was about to expire. But good, she should leave. I could finally enjoy my solitude again. An hour later, Anna still wasn't back. I looked out the window at the light rain and started to worry. What if her separation anxiety flared up and she collapsed in some deserted alley? I called her, but there was no answer. I immediately grabbed an umbrella and ran downstairs. Oh God, please don't let anything happen to this rich girl on my watch. Please. As soon as I got downstairs, I ran right into her dress soaked from the rain. Seeing her standing there perfectly fine, I got angry again. What on earth did you need to buy this late at night? Running off without a word. I was about to. Before I could finish, Anna pulled a bouquet of blue roses from behind her back and handed them to me. Happy May 20th. We are a real married couple, after all. Even if it's just in name, it's legal and official. Her voice was a little hoarse, trying to sound defiant, but lacking confidence. I looked at her ears, which always turned red when she was shy, and a smile I couldn't hide spread across my face. You have a point. Thanks. This will be perfect for a Facebook post. The pitter-patter of the light rain against the window was a soothing sound. I sat by the window, reading a book. Anna, after a shower, had been watching TV in the living room, but eventually followed me into the bedroom, pulling up a stool to sit beside me like my personal shadow. Wherever I went, she stuck to me. What are you reading? She asked, finally breaking the silence after pretending to scroll on her phone. Psychology. Does that stuff actually work? Anna asked. Why don't I analyze you a bit? The night makes people relax, but it also makes them overthink. The woman's freshly washed black hair looked incredibly soft. On an impulse, I reached out and ruffled it. You didn't give me flowers today just because of the date, did you? It was because someone else showed up and you felt threatened. Her throat bobbed, a sure sign of nervousness. I continued. You can't even tell if it's a physiological attachment anymore, can you? Maybe your illness was cured a long time ago, but you chose to keep going, squeezing onto the subway with me to go to that stuffy office that's still hot, even with the AC on. Anna, tell me, is this physiological or psychological? I leaned in, looking into her trembling eyes, my tone serious. I was, of course, just talking nonsense to tease her, but the woman actually started stammering nervously. No, I don't have any other motives. I'm just sick. I only feel safe when I'm with you. Are you saying I'm faking it? By the end, she was questioning herself. Hey, wait a second. I got up and grabbed 2 cans of low-alcohol fruit wine from the fridge. Have you ever been in a relationship before? I asked boldly after taking a big gulp. The woman's silk pajamas felt cool and smooth against my arm. No, she said, taking a swig herself. Let me ask you something. If another woman had the same idea back then, would you have agreed? I nodded. So I was just the one who happened to be there, Anna said, finishing her drink in one go and crushing the can in her hand. I wanted to laugh, so I did. Don't be so naive. You had something to gain too, didn't you? You know perfectly well how hard I had to act in front of your grandmother. We're partners. Let's not talk about this stuff. It was all an act. It's pointless. I suddenly felt bored with this game. I looked down, searching for my slippers, my head feeling fuzzy. As I bent down, Anna beat me to it, kneeling to pick up my slippers and put them on my feet, one by one. Let me. In that single moment, with the rain outside, the warm yellow light inside, and Anna's gentle touch, my fingertips trembled. Anna, what are you doing? It makes it seem like I've been treating you badly. Noah, aren't I your assistant? This is what I'm supposed to do. During our time living together, I realized that although Anna was a perfectionist who brought a mountain of stuff, she never took out any of the accessories I told her not to. They all stayed obediently in her suitcases. Even when I criticized her, she would just sulk by herself. Sometimes, when I didn't notice, she would deliberately make some noise to get me to ask what was wrong. This wife I barely knew was actually kind of interesting. Let's go for a checkup in 3 days. The illness should be gone by then. I muttered to the dark ceiling after we turned off the lights. The woman next to me, huddled under her blanket, didn't respond for a long time. I thought she was asleep. Just as I was about to pull my wrist away, a force pulled me back. She had slipped into my side of the bed. The familiar yet strange scent of her body wash filled the air, and her hands wrapped around my waist. It's not gone, she whispered in my ear. I caressed her beautiful face, tracing the line of her eyebrows, down her straight nose, and stopping at her lips. Anna, you're crossing a line. I don't want to. The woman just held me tighter. The AC in the bedroom was set a little too low tonight, and I was feeling a little hot. The weekend, a rare 2 days off. I was on the balcony, trimming the potted plants. Anna had just woken up. She habitually felt the empty space next to her before propping herself up. Noah, what was the difference between her and a dog loyal to its owner? The first thing she did upon waking was look for me. On the balcony, my voice had gotten a lot of exercise since Anna moved in. We have a company lunch today. You'll have to get something yourself later. I should be back in an hour or two. I shouted back into the apartment as I picked up the trash by the door. Her anxiety was probably much better. She used to be inseparable from me, but now she could go out alone and even run out at night to buy flowers. Using her illness as an excuse to be difficult now would be just plain wrong. Okay, come back soon. Anna hugged the large stuffed animal I had left on the bed and padded over to the door, looking at me obediently. Puffed. I couldn't help but laugh. What are you laughing at? She frowned. A piece of your hair is sticking up in the back. It looks like a tail. The Grand Regent Hotel, Suite 3. Before I even went in, I was stunned by the opulent hotel entrance. Two gleaming golden dragon statues coiled around the eaves, their eyes wide and fierce. Had the sun risen in the west? When did my cheap company become so generous? A strange feeling washed over me. Something fell off, but since I was already here, I went in. Noah, you finally made it. As I entered the private room, I saw the large round table laden with exquisite dishes. A woman sat at the head of the table. Sarah, am I early or late? The only other person here was my boss. Oh God. Who wants to be alone with their boss? I clutched my bag and forced a smile. Come, have a seat. Sarah pulled out the chair next to her, gesturing for me to sit. I immediately put my bag on the chair across from her and sat there instead. No, I'm good here. The others will be here soon, huh? Noah, actually, it's just you and me today, Sarah said. She draped her jacket over the back of her chair and undid the top button of her blouse. Alarm bells went off in my head. Oh crap, the mysterious flower sender couldn't be my boss, could it? I shot up from my seat, my palms sweating. Sarah, what is this all about? You've already guessed, haven't you? There's no need to ask. Sarah's face was stern as she picked up her teacup and took a sip. I was silent for a full minute. The woman looked up, a little confused. Why aren't you saying anything? There's nothing to say. Sarah, could you please be a little more direct? She was acting like this was a work proposal, and I was giving her a vague report. Who the hell knew what she was trying to say? All right, I'll summarize, she said. I like you. I'm transferring to the branch in C-City next week. Before I go, I wanted to ask if you'd be willing to give me a chance. The woman folded her hands, her tone like she was in a negotiation. My heart was on a roller coaster, jumping up and down. Thank God I heard the words transferring soon. Sarah, I already have someone I like, I said, pulling out my chair and sitting back down. Don't call me boss today. We're not at work. Fine. Sarah, to be clear, I have someone I like. The woman clicked her tongue and sighed deeply, then chuckled. Is it Anna? I raised an eyebrow, but said nothing. She continued on her own, the sole heiress to the Sterling Group chairman. Let me be blunt, she's from a completely different world than you. Noah, real life isn't a game. Being with someone from a similar background is important. You and I are from different worlds too, I retorted, wanting to leave. I've just been working a few years longer than you, that's all. Sarah was basically telling me what Anna's status was. A normal guy like me shouldn't even dream. I'm not talking about money. Sarah, I wish you all the best at the new company. I have to go. Goodbye. But this ambush lunch was timely. It was a wake-up call. Why are you back so late? It's already 3. I had just put my keys down when Anna materialized in front of me. I ignored her and turned to look at the calendar. Tomorrow was June 1st. Anna, we're going for your checkup tomorrow. Go pack your things now. The woman stood frozen, then followed my gaze to the calendar. But I haven't finished the medicine yet. The doctor never said you have to finish it for the illness to be cured. You know your own body best, I replied coldly. Noah, what's wrong with you? Anna followed me to the balcony and stood behind me. I'm suddenly finding you a little annoying. Don't talk to me anymore. I walked past her, not wanting to be alone with her. If our previous interactions had made me forget the gap between us, I was now wide awake back to where I was a year ago. How could I have forgotten how high and mighty Anna was back then? If our marriage became real, it wouldn't necessarily be a good thing for me. The The sound of a suitcase zipper came from the room, loud and deliberate. I shook my head helplessly. Just go, you troublemaker. That night, she arrogantly threw her blanket on the sofa and went straight to sleep. I turned off the lights and went back to the bedroom, planning to return the money to her tomorrow afternoon after we left the hospital. After all, Anna hadn't been idle here. She had helped out a lot, and she was easy on the eyes. I didn't want to owe her any extra favors. I was scrolling on my phone, about to drift off, when the other side of the bed suddenly dipped. Noah, you're far away again. I feel sick. The person who had been in the living room had crept into my bed in the dark. I didn't say anything, pretending to be asleep. A warm breath tickled my ear. My illness is never going to get better. Can I cling to you for the rest of my life? Still no answer. Then something cool and wet fell on the back of my neck. A tear. The next day, the results from the hospital follow-up were delayed. I stood under the same shady tree as before, tapping my foot impatiently. I took out the red marriage certificate from my bag and decided to just go get the divorce first. Anna, let's go to City Hall. The woman's breath hitched. She turned to look at me. I'm not better yet. I'm definitely not. Look, my hands are shaking. I strode over and grabbed her arm firmly. Let's be honest. Before you moved into the apartment, I saw our relationship very clearly. But this past month, whether it's because of your illness or my own issues, things have gotten messy. Ending it now is the best choice. I pulled her forward a few steps. Anna resisted, but she could only stumble along. According to the original plan, we shouldn't even be seeing each other anymore. Stop making a scene. I already transferred the money back to you. I kept walking until we reached the entrance of City Hall, sweating from the effort before I finally stopped. Anna gave up struggling and fumbled in her pocket, finally pulling out the little bear keychain and handing it back to me. You're right. It shouldn't have been like this. I started walking up the steps, but her words started flowing faster. You're right about everything. I regret it so much. Why did I have to have a panic attack? We should have just ended things normally. It's all my fault for wanting to ride the pirate ship. No, I never should have gone to that mixer in the first place. When you called my name, I shouldn't have stopped. Divorce. Even if we stay legally married, we're not a real couple. Noah, I'll move out tomorrow. From now on, even if you want to see me, I'll have to check if I have time. I finally reached the top of the stairs and turned to glare at her. Shut up. It's almost our turn. But when we got inside, I asked, and unfortunately, they weren't taking walk-ins. You need an appointment now. So the divorce failed. Fine. I'll make an appointment tonight. Let's go get the results. I was exhausted from all the running around, but Anna seemed to have more energy than ever. Noah, you look so tired. Why don't we take a break? She said, a wide smile spreading across her face. I don't need to, I said, turning my face away and walking around her. Noah, do you hate me that much? You're really that desperate to get rid of me, aren't you? Yes, I said, without hesitation. The truth was, I already knew whether Anna's illness was better or not before we even got the report. I could clearly see the changes in her every day over the past few weeks. But seeing the black and white text stating that her moderate separation anxiety had become severe psychological dependence, my mind went blank. What does this mean? It means your wife's feelings for you have deepened. It's not a serious illness. We won't prescribe any medication this time. At that moment, I felt an immense weariness. I stuffed the report into my bag and pushed open the door to the psychology department. Anna was waiting anxiously outside. The moment she saw me, she rushed over. Noah, I'm not better, am I? You're fine, I told her flatly. The woman's face fell instantly. Impossible. I'm not better. You're fine, so you're fine. Stop clinging to me. I quickened my pace to leave, but a few steps later, I was pulled into a hug from behind. I'm really not better. Don't go. When you're not looking at me, I feel sick. When someone else sends you flowers, I feel sick. When you're gone for a long time and I can't see you, I feel sick. I just can't be without you now, and I'll never be able to be without you. How can my illness possibly be cured? Her arms were wrapped around me, tight, so tight. My heart was racing, but I want a divorce. I was just in it for the 3-year use of the apartment. We're from completely different worlds. What's the point of you clinging to me? Anna shook her head, not loosening her grip in the slightest. What different worlds? You're standing in front of me. You are my world. Noah, I'm anxious because I like you. Otherwise, why was it that on the pirate ship, with all those people around, I only panicked when I couldn't see you? I was held tightly in her embrace, and I stopped struggling. I'm sorry, I don't know what's happening, but please don't say the D word again. I can't hear it right now. And can you help me back? You're being so cold. It really hurts my feelings. Anna looked at me and repeated, I just like you. I don't want a divorce. I don't want the agreement. I tore up all those stupid papers. I want to be your wife, in every sense of the word. Wherever your world is, that's where my world will be.